Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as my friends over at yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Today we're going to do the Pink Ribbon Shawl. This is an older pattern, oldie but goodie, over at Yarnspirations. Today I'm going to break down this pattern in order to show you how to do the stitch work, the assembly, and then the fringing right at the very end. So this is classified as an easy pattern, and it truly is. It's only 2 rows that you need to remember over and over and over until you get to the very edging, and the edging is just as simple. So what you're looking at here is a 2-piece assembly that you cannot see because it's actually behind her neck here on the back. And what we're gonna do is that you'll do the first half up until 30 inches, and then you'll come and you'll turn the project around and you will start at the very beginning again and then finish the other side coming down the other side. So it makes it very uniform, and the reason why they're doing that is that the edging is nice and frilly. In order to have the edging look identical on both sides, that we have to just do one side first and then we complete it all the way, and then we start again at the very beginning and do the other side on the same project. So we actually grow to the same project as we go. So you'll need a 5mm size H crochet hook in order to play. I have done a diagram. I'm going to show that to you next, and if you want to freeze frame it you can do so as well, so you can take notes. So here's a copy of the diagram that I drew for myself so that I could understand this pattern even more. I actually drew this after I did my sample, to be honest with you. So I want to give you an indication of how it's going to go. So what we have is that we have 2 sides. So this is the second half that's done afterward, and I'll explain that in a moment. So we're going to start off with a chain, and it says to chain I believe 66, and I'm just going to flip a sheet of paper and just take a quick look, and 66 is the magic number. If you want to change the size of the shawl, this is the depth of the shawl. So when you're wearing it, this is the top of your neck, and this will be hanging down towards your chest, just to give you an indication on how that is. And so what you're gonna do, if you want to change the size and make it even deeper, then you just do multiples of 8 plus then 2 at the end of your chain. So just keep going 8, 8, 8, 8. Once you're satisfied, add 2, and then you can keep this pattern to be consistent, and that includes all the way to the fringing. So you're going to continue to go back and forth just like you see, and you'll repeat row number 2 and 3 over and over and over until you get to 30 inches, and then there's 2 rows which does all this frilly stuff. Now P is not a symbol of crochet when it comes to the diagram. I was just lazy, but it's actually a picot. So you can see that there's picots on top of these here to give you a really neat look. So once one side is done, which includes this section all the way to the edging, you're going to turn your project around, and this is the starting chain, and you're going to turn it around and you're gonna begin. So you have to end just like you see here. So you have to start on this side, and then you're just gonna get it started and see how these stitches go into where the existing stitches are right underneath, so it keeps it looking consistent. And when you do this, see how these are leaning over to the side? When you do the other side, then it matches so that it looks seamless all the way across this thing, which is actually pretty amazing. So you're gonna establish yourself, and then you'll just do the repeat rows of 2 and 3, what you already know down here, to 30 inches, and then you'll continue to do the outer edge as well, which is 2 rows. So it's a very easy configuration, and today I'm gonna get you started on doing that. So grab your size H 5mm size crochet hook, Karen Simply Soft yarn. Again, 3 balls, all that it takes to make one of these. So as we begin today, we're going to start off with our chain, and this is what it looks like. So the chain goes across your 66, and then you're gonna go back and forth. So you can see that you end up with a definite line going into the vertical, just like you see here. So it almost kind of reminds me of a corner to corner stitch where you got them kind of leaning back and forth. They're not quite the same as a corner to corner, but that's what it reminds me of. And because there's 2 rows, one is just gonna lean in one direction and the other row leans in the other. So it just goes back and forth like this, leaving this beautiful gap. And you're gonna go all the way for 30 inches until you get to the other side, and when you think it's 30. So when you get to the 30 inches, you have to end on row number 3, and then row number 3, then we're gonna then do the 2 rows of edging that's left afterward. But before we begin that, we have to get you started on a chain, so you can do at least get yourself started. And again, remember the multiple of 8 plus 2. So if you want just a different size, you know, multiples of 8, so 8, 8, 8, 8, 8 to the size that you want, add 2, and then you got your customized sizing. Let's begin. So let's begin by doing a slip knot to begin. This is an easy level tutorial. It's not a beginner. So if you're a beginner though, it's really not hard if you just follow along. So you're going to do a chain of 66 if you want the exact one, or just chain of multiples of 8 plus 2. So if I'm gonna do a multiple of 8 plus 2 because I don't need to do the whole thing to show you. So you're going to chain up 66 or multiples of 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, there's one multiple, and then again 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then I'll do another multiple just for the fun of it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And once you're satisfied then with the length, like you can see this is gonna be the width of your shawl, so it's not very wide here. This would be like a scarf. Then you can just add 2. So 1 and 2. So there's multiples of 8 plus 2. Let's begin row number 1. So now we're gonna begin row number 1. So we have here multiples of 8 plus 2, and we're gonna single crochet second chain from the hook, and then you're gonna chain 4. You're going to skip 3 and single crochet into the 4th one. Chain up 3 and then 2 double crochets into the same one, and then you're going to skip another 3, single crochet into the next, chain 4, skip another 3, and then do this fun stuff like you've already done. So the secret here on the chain is that you're skipping 3 every time you're going to skip anything. So it's always 3, 3, 3, 3, 3 that you're skipping. So let's begin to do row number 1. So let's jump right in the pattern. We're gonna go second chain from the hook, so 1 and 2, and just single crochet, and I always get the back chain or the back loop of the chain. It just looks nicer. So single crochet there, and then we're going to chain a total of 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you're gonna come back down to the chain and you're gonna skip 3. So 1, 2, and 3, go to the 4th and single crochet. Now we're gonna do our fun stuff here. So in order to do this really kind of neat configuration, you're gonna chain 3 first. So 1, 2, 3 kind of counts as a double crochet, and then in the same chain that you're in that single crochet, you're going to double crochet 2 times. So you're gonna do that every time you hit that kind of configuration when you go across. So it's always gonna be single crochet, chain 3, and then 2 double crochets into the same one on this particular row. So skip another 3. So 1, 2, and 3, go to the 4th, single crochet, and this is the gapping spaces that you're creating here. So this is a gap space here, and we're about to do it again. So 1, so we're gonna chain 4. So 2, 3, and 4, and how many are we gonna skip? The answer is always gonna be 3. So 1, 2, and 3, go to the 4th for a single crochet, and do another one of those fancy configurations that we just did over here. So let's begin to do that. So chain up 3. So 1, 2, 3, and in the same chain double crochet twice. So do you see the repeat pattern going on now? You should be able to. And then we continue to go. So skip 3, 1, 2, and 3, go to the 4th, single crochet, and then chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, skip 3, 1, 2, and 3, go to the 4th, single crochet, and you're gonna do that all the way across, and it's just a repeat pattern just like you see in the diagram, and then once you get all the way to the end you're just gonna finish it off. So it'll be finishing off with the actual funny configuration that you see here. So chain up 3 and 2 double crochet in the same one, and if your stitch count is right, and my multiples of 8 plus 2 did work out, because I'm gonna skip 3, so 1, 2, and 3, and I single crochet into the last one. See? So whether it was chain 66 or multiples of 8 plus 2, you end up with the same thing. Let's go on to row number 2, which will be repeated every time. So we're gonna repeat 2 and 3 then going forward. So let's do number 2. So let's do number 2. We're gonna chain up our work. This happens every time. We're gonna do number 2, which is every other row. So we're gonna chain a total of 5, which counts as a double crochet and chain 2. So we're gonna chain 5. So 1, 2, 3, there's your double crochet, and then 4 and 5, that's your chain 2. And you're going to go into the first chain 3 space. So look at it here, see how these 2 double crochets are together? This was that chain 3. So if I looked at it from the other point of view, remember when we chained up 3? It's the gapping space that that is creating when you go to do that. So let's turn it around to where we should look, and just go right into the gap space and just single crochet. And we're gonna create the same configuration but in this gap space instead now. So it's gonna be chaining up 3 and double crochet into that same chain space. So it's not like the same stitch, it's just a space. So double crocheting twice. So now what you're going to do, this is your chain 4 space that you have here. You're just gonna go around the space and single crochet, and that forces that to lean over. See that? So now you're gonna chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then you go to the next one and just get this first one out. So do you see the space? So just go right into the space and single crochet and do another one of those fancy configurations. So single crochet, chain 3 and 2 double crochet into the same space, and you're gonna do that all the way across. So you just have to remember that whenever you're doing these things, no matter what row that you're on, there's always gonna be that chain 4 that skips, that you have to create in order to have that skip space to look that really amazing when you're wearing it. So now single crochet into the next chain 4 space, and now chain 4. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then coming up you see this next one here, go right into the space. Okay, so single crochet, chain 3 and 2 double crochets into the same one, and in row number 2, watch how we're going to finish it. So once you get this last one in, see there's no more of these funny things left. So now you have to chain 2, so 1 and 2, and you're just going to put in a double crochet into this chain 1 space way over here. You're gonna do that every time that you're finishing off row number 2. Okay, so you can see that the row 2 here just moved everything to the side. So now the next row number 3 is gonna come back in the other direction. So let's turn our work and do row number 3 next. So in row number 3 we're gonna come up and we're gonna start up with a chain 1, single crochet into the first double crochet we just did, and then chain 4, and then this will go back into the next chain 3 gap space that you have. So single crochet, there should actually be 3 chains there, not 2. Let me draw that in, and then coming back in, 2 double crochets the same space, and then single crochet right into this chain 4 space, chain 4, and then come back to the top and keep doing that as we go across in row number 3. So now we're gonna go up for row number 3, and you'll be repeating this, so it'll be repeats 2 and 3. So I can see that there's a double crochet here, so whenever I see that I wanna automatically chain up 1, and I wanna single crochet into the first stitch, which is the top of that same double crochet. And now in order to begin I have to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, and I come to the first configuration, just separate that last space out there, single crochet, chain 3 and 2 double crochets into that same space. Okay, once you get that done, just go into the next chain 4 space, single crochet around it, and that pulls it leaning over. So you can see it's gone over from here to here, and now it's back again, and now chain 4. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then come into the next one, just automatically grab that one that's out on its own, single crochet, chain 3 and 2 double crochet into the same one. Okay, and then single crochet into the next chain 4 space, create another chain 4. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, and you keep doing that all the way across, and here you're coming up to the very last one available to you. So you go right in, single crochet, chain up 3, and then 2 double crochet into the same space. So whenever you're finishing row number 3, you automatically see this chain 5 space, you just single crochet right into the space itself, just like that. So it's actually kind of a neat idea. So on one side when we go to finish, on this other side row number 2, we chain 2 and then double crocheted in. This one here we just go right into the space itself. So we just turn our work, and let's just repeat rows number 2 just so you get it and going, and you can always reverse this video as well to start up row number 2. So row number 2, if you remember, it was chaining up a 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and then you just come to the next chain space that you see here, which is part of this, single crochet, chain 3 and 2 more double crochet in there. Okay, and then just single crochet to the next chain 4 space, and now you're gonna create another chain 4 space. So 1, 2, 3, 4, just come to the next top of the next one here, the space, and single crochet, chain 3 and 2 more double crochet in. And then single crochet in the chain 4 space, 1, 2, 3, 4, go into the next one here, and keep on doing that all the way across. So you're just gonna go back and forth doing rows number 2 and 3 just like this, and then what's gonna happen is that you're gonna end on row number 3 and then you're going to start the edging. So what I'll do is that I'll show you how to do the edging next. So you're gonna repeat rows number 2 and 3 until you get that to be a total of 30 inches right from the start all the way to 30 inches ending on row number 3, and then what we're going to do then is that we're gonna start on row number 1 of 2 for doing the edging, and the edging is the same on both sides, so I only have to show it to you one time. So what we're gonna do is start the edging. Let's begin that next. To begin the edging, it has to be started when row number 3 is right underneath it in order to keep it in balance to the pattern. And what we're going to do is then after this, then we're gonna turn it around and work on the base in order to do the other side. So to do this, then we just have to chain up 1, and we're gonna do 1 single crochet into the next 3 stitches, which includes this single crochet that's on the top. So we're gonna go 1, 2, and 3. Nice and easy, right? So we just kind of worked our way up, and now you have the gapping space that we have here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna single crochet right into that gapping space, so you have a total of 4 now when you think about it. And now this chain 4 space is where we're gonna play with 5 trebles, but we have to separate those with chain 1s for when we do it. So we have to put in our first treble, so wrap the hook twice and going in, and I want you to treble, and then chain 1, and then treble, and chain 1, and then treble, and keep doing that so you have a total of 5 trebles altogether. Okay, so I have what I have here is I have 4, chain 1, and the 5th. So there's no chains after the trebles, it's only in between them. Okay, do you see them there? So now once you have that in, you are just going to then single crochet into the into this chain space, and then begin that all again. So just start, wrap the hook twice, and going into the next chain 4 space, and start trebling, and then chain 1, and trebling, chain 1, and do that so you have 5 trebles there. Okay, you keep doing that. Yours will obviously be wider. And then once you get your 5th one in, you just single crochet to the top of the next chain 3 space that you have there, and you keep doing that all the way until you get to the other side. Now we have this other side here, so this has to be more trebles here. This is a chain 4 space, so we have to continue that right to the edge. And don't forget you put your chain 1s that separate them. And then once you have that done, your last one's in, and all I want you to do is single crochet down to the top of the other single crochet that's already there. So you just have to do that all the way. It looks like it's gonna be lopsided, but that's the whole point of this thing. It looks really quite amazing. So let's begin row number 2 of the edging, which is the final. So let's begin row number 2, and this is the final of the edging. And then all we're just gonna do then is then we begin and we start chaining up 1, and we're gonna put in a single crochet in the first 2. So it's gonna be in the top of the first one, the single crochet that we just did, okay, and then it's gonna be in the first treble as well. And what we're gonna do is do a picot. Now if you don't know what a picot is, watch how you do it. So we're gonna do a picot right now. So in order to do that, we have to chain up 3. So 1, 2, 3, and then you're gonna come back down to where you did the single crochet, and you're going to slide your hook in so that you see 2 strands of yarn. Okay, it looks like it's a V. You see that? So when you're looking at it and you're not in it, you're just gonna come down, so just look at it and it will jump right in front of you, and you're gonna slide the hook in and you're gonna pull through and through. And that's a picot, and it creates a like a little nubbly thing. So in the next chain 1 space, you're gonna do a single crochet, and then in the next treble you're going to do another picot. So single crochet first, and then chain 3. So 1, 2, and 3, and then coming in and doing sliding it in, pulling it through and through. And that's another picot. So the next one is a chain 1 space, and then the next one that was a single crochet, and the next one is single crochet right into a treble and another picot. So 1, 2, 3 and slide in, and you're gonna do that all the way across. So let me just keep on moving. So single crochet in the next chain 1 space, and then single crochet in the treble, which is gonna be another picot. So you can start blazing along as soon as you understand that. Okay, that was in the chain 1 space, and here's the final treble, and you're gonna picot first. So single crochet and then picot, and then you're going to then put in a single crochet in this chain, or in the single crochet that separates the trebles out, and then you're gonna single crochet in the first treble and then picot all over again. So you create these nubbly things that are on the top, and you're gonna do that all the way across. So in every treble there will be a picot on top. In the chain 1 spaces there will just be a single crochet, and then you'll single crochet into the middle and again restart it. And then once you get to the other side, all you just have to do is that once you get beyond the treble, you are just going to single crochet the final 2 and leave the rest empty, and then that would be done for this particular pattern. So what you have to do then at the very end of this, we have to still do the other side, but you have to do this first, and then you're gonna just single crochet yourself down the one side, but we have to do the other side first. So this would be how you would complete side number 1. So off camera I just finished out the top edging just like you see, and you see that I ended 2 early, so the last 2 were single crochets in, and it looks like it's supposed to be offset like that, and it causes it to open up just like you see, so it's kind of more fanny at the bottom. So what I want you to do is that I want you to pay attention to this. This is where you started. Okay, this is the tail that we started with, and I need you to flip this project so that you can see the tail, and the tail will be like this, upside down. So this is the tail where we started, and we're gonna start here and go back and forth. So see where this tail is? That's where you want it to be. So don't worry about the one that's on the end. And let's begin to do row number 1, and then rows number 2 and 3 are identical to what you already know here. So we just got to get you started first. So let's begin to do row number 1. So in row number 1 we want to create a new set of yarn here, and we're going to attach it right where we started with the other one. So just yarning over and pulling it through and through. So there was a slip knot on there, and we're going to now chain 4. So if you look at the chart, let me show you the chart next. So here's the chart, and so I am having you flip the project upside down, okay, so that we can start it here. This is the tail end of where things started when we did the other one. So we're, like I just showed you, so we're gonna slip stitch at the beginning and then chain 4, and we're gonna create what we already know, and we're gonna be using the stitches that are underneath. So see how this is single crocheted into this chain? That's where you're gonna play in the same one, and then see, it's the same ones that you're playing. It's just opposite side. It's like a mirror. So let's begin. So I've already slip stitched in. I want to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. And so see where this all is? That's exactly where you want to play. It's very obvious when in the actual project versus the pattern. So single crochet, chain up 3, and then 2 double crochets into the same one. So you're just making everything polar opposite. So once you get that done, then single crochet into the next space and then chain 4. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. And I want you then is that you're going to go to the next space right here. See, do you see where it's all equaling up? And go right there. And then chain 3 and then 2 double crochets into the same space or same stitch. Okay, and then single crochet in the next space that's right beside it. Now chain 4, so 1, 2, 3 and 4, and you continue to do that. Then come into this one here, and then 1, 2, 3, and then 2 double crochets into the same one. And once you get all the way across like I'm about to hit, all you're just gonna do then is put a single crochet into the last one. So everything else is now identical. So all you're just gonna do is turn your work, and then you'll just go, and if you have to turn the chart upside down for your ease, but all it will be is rows 2 and 3 over and over again for another 30 inches from this spot. Okay, and then you're gonna go up 30 inches, and then ending on row 3 you will do the edging just like you see here, and therefore you'll have a project that is fully the length that you need. So you just need 3 balls of Caron Simply Soft yarn, a 5mm size H crochet hook, and have a good time. So once you're done, then let me just quickly show you how to weave in your ends. So in order to do so, this is where I ended before. If you put your ends into a darning needle, especially if you're wearing it out, so all you're just gonna do is put it into a darning needle, and you're just gonna drag the stitch underneath the stitch work, so don't impede on any of these picots at all. So just coming underneath the stitch work for 1, go the other direction for 2, and then go in the other direction for 3. And you do that for all your tail ends that you have, and then once you have that done, then you can just safely trim it down to the project. Out of sight, out of mind, and it'll never fall out on you as well. So this is how you do this. This is the Pink Ribbon Shawl by yarnspirations.com, an original pattern by Caron from many years ago, and it's still just as fabulous. We'll see you again real soon. I'm Mikey on behalf of the Crochet Crab. Bye bye.